Hello, everybody. I am here preparing to move house and writing a piece of, an article on authenticity and our pure note or our soul note, and how the harmonics of being are so important now in our perception of ourselves. And yes, learning or remembering that the original harmonic, or what I call your harmonic blueprint, is everything. I often write your harmonic blueprint will be your guide in the new world, because this is how we move into a new world. This is how we move into being new versions or better versions or true versions of ourselves. So, how do we do that? How do we return to this essence that we are? And there's so much that I could write, but I just felt it was really important to talk it here. So maybe anybody listening will receive the depths of it. So, when we look at music or when we look at harmonics, we also find out about octaves. And one note played can then vibrate to create other notes. So it's kind of like a fractal of the same note. It just keeps going. Audible, our ability to listen is, up to a point, but it's not to say that that one note doesn't continue on potentially ad infinitum. It's just we are not able to hear it, but to perceive it. So before we go into perception, we need to understand that we are a frequency, and then we are at a fundamental, original blueprint of the universe. And when we return to that one fundamental note, which if you Google harmonics of music or the octaves of harmonics, you will find there's always one note that vibrates the many other. It creates of itself. And this is the foundation of the dreaming, the work that I call the geometry of dreaming, because that is a return to that one state, but it's a state, but it's also a substance, because in that state, we can also listen, perceive, and on some level transduce intelligence from the field, which is plasma. So through the harmonics of our being, we enter what I call the dreaming. The dreaming could be perceived as, you go to sleep and you relax your mind, and then you're in a dreaming state. And before you know it, you are actually experiencing yourself in a dream, and you might wake up and have that profound understanding of something or a message that will open some more intelligence for you. With that, I really am speaking of the geometry of dreaming in terms of your frequency, and then how in that state of pure dreaming. Now, this is the part that is good. You are entering a state, a personal healed state of yourself. And then you entering your reason for being and your purpose for being here, the choices that you made as a soul, as a multidimensional being, entering this reality, and how you create from that through your own harmonics. So you create fractals of yourself and you inform reality around your life. You create a new life. This is why your harmonic blueprint will be your guide in the new world. Because if we are really serious about creating a new world, if we have seen enough of what is occurring or what the experience has been for the collective, but more importantly, the authentic being that you are, if we had an awareness of what is no longer working, if we are in that state where, you know what, I am so ready to create a reality that I no longer keep looping back to some kind of recycling experience with other people or with similar circumstances, but in different books, if you like. You end up in the library, and if you like that frequency, that vibration, the kind of ethos of a story, you end up going to one point in the library, and then you keep reading the same books because it's interesting. But on a subconscious level, when we are being the harmonic of that one loop, then we're going to create more of those loops. So in the end, it's like, well, how many more times am I going to experience being myself in a similar reality that just brings me back to center, which is good. It's always good. Yeah, it's always good, but it's not always easy. And the more that we are aware of frequency and how we are informing realities through our own frequency sequence. If you worked with me, I have spoken for years about the frequency sequence, which is an equation or literally a geometrical field of information that is you beyond time space. Also what I call your never-ending story. So in the never-ending story, you enter the dreaming. And now this is the excitement about the dreaming. It is dynamic and it's alive and it's expectant of you. It's a bit like arriving at a place where you are known, and the feel that you penetrate or perceive or you become, because it's a state of being as well as a substance, as they say. And this substance um, is plasma, and the intelligence that it's in the cosmos, and it's available for everyone, everywhere, all the time. So entering the self and being in harmony with that harmonic blueprint, entering the dreaming is the part of creation. Is the part where literally, if you could dream up your most delicious, more desirable wish that is coming from the soul. It's okay if you have a wish or a desire to, live, I don't know, by the sea with sea views and, eat, I don't know, eat mangoes fresh from a tree or something like that. That's perfectly beautiful as a dream, and swim with dolphins and whales all day long. All of that, it's beautiful. But if you keep diving deeper in that desire, you'll arrive at the source of your being, and you arrive at your harmonics, and you arrive at your purpose. You yeah, your reason for being here. We haven't arrived here by accident because our parents got together. We haven't even had to, learn something. We are always learning because we're remembering, but we haven't come here just to have it, just to have an experience as our ancestors did, because evolution it's constant. And so what worked for our ancestors no longer works for future generations. And we are here in the middle. What are we going to do about it? I am not the same person that I was when I was 20. I am not the same person that I was when I was 40. The choices I made when I was 50 are not the choices I make today. I'm 60 today. So my years have brought me through immense potentials and experiences of creating and recreating myself, and creating and recreating realities in other countries, with other people, with other groups. Yes, I have lived in many parts of the world. I have understood cultural imprinting. I have understood, on some level, group imprinting. I have understood how I fit, and I am a misfit in all of those potentials. So all of that to say, what is your truth? Where are you going with your original harmonic? And if you understand, Google the image, because you will understand. It's so simple. It blew my mind. when I was creating the materials for interstellar communication, the first module was about harmonics. And so I am a perfect harmonic set in geometry, informing my world of what it is that I am holding as a frequency. So if I am not aware that I'm holding a frequency of some kind of distortion, then I'm going to create distortion on the outside of my field until I'm faced with that experience. And then I have a choice. Do I blame other people? Do I create havoc on the outside world, or do I enter the dreaming and I restore my deepest desires, the soul fire that inspires me, that guides me, that is me, that is, at the beginning of this work, for months, I was entering through my focus time with groups and with myself, within the being that I am. I would perceive this, what looked like water, though I knew that this medium wasn't water because it was electric and it was alive. And I, for months, called it a plasma lake because I didn't know what it was. And I perceived it as a constant, and it was in motion, and it wanted to go ahead and create whatever my desire was. And I was very aware in that state of being that I must be so careful in what I desire or what I vision from it, because it was so powerful, it would be instant. And so for months I beheld the state and the substance. This is why I tell you it's also a substance of creation. And it's also a navigational location, if you like, because in many traditions we move. The intelligence of ancient civilizations have told us about navigating with a boat or a barge through the watery worlds or the inner worlds, and how you enter a gateway or a portal from one reality to another through this undercurrent or the deep inner flow or inner oceans of your being. So when I was writing about this article, I will publish it soon, on being authentic and how we generate and broadcast that one note. If we train ourselves and we train our nervous system and we train our ability to perceive reality and be informed by how we are creating. And I tell you that I'm teaching you this because I am constantly creating magic, but also havoc. And so it has given me the opportunity to understand, okay, how did I create that? What is in there that I need to unravel? And it is a loving journey. It's not psychotherapy. It's not working with your shadow. It's not about, oh, this happened because that person. And no, all of that is not existent. And I feel that these are the dimensions that we are entering and becoming interstellar. And the interstellar communication is part of being at one with all of this information, intelligence of nature and the animal kingdom and the stars and the maps that guide us. And, I'm an astrologer, so I'm constantly looking at what the geometry in the sky is holding, so that we can move through that with our own frequency and create new geometries as fractals of that one potential. So we are constant creators, constant perceivers, constant broadcasters, constant choice makers, and constant fine tuners of perception. So this fine tuning is about returning to your original harmonic. So I just wanted to say it out the way it came, and I will publish this video, and I wish you all my love, and consider watching more of my videos. There will be more coming. I am guiding beautiful souls through the geometry of dreaming and how to enter this beautiful state, which is also the fundamentals of creation and creating a new reality and understanding perception, and the communication, the interstellar communication network through water and plasma, and how we access the totality of interconnectedness. This is the future. This is where we're going, guys. It's very exciting. So yes, hang in there. There is more coming, and do your part. Thank you for your mastery. Thank you for being on Earth, and excited to meet you on this journey. Much, much love. Bye bye.